defending, I think, is like.
Are we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Hopefully everyone's doing well and safe. You're all in good health. And with it being Thursday, you're all having a good week. And as we approach the end of the week, you know, back to Premier League football and things, hopefully you're all doing good, man. Hope you've all got your health and your loved ones the same. And as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Please do me a favor and hit the like button on your way in. Unexpected high bills of those of you who do not hit that like button. Hit your like buttons, comment your opinions, all of those sort of things, people. Now, I'm happy that the international break is drawing to a close. I know if you're Brazilian or you support a club where your team has Brazilians in it, you're a bit wary. You know, you look at Fabinho and Alisson, they might not be able to play for Liverpool. And I'm sure there's a couple of others, other people, because I think they play at like 1 a.m. on Friday or something. And then obviously everybody's back in action between Saturday, Sunday. And obviously where Arsenal are concerned, we're actually in action on the Monday. So yeah, it is what it is, people. So yeah, I'm quite happy to see them things there are closing down, because I want to get back to Premier League football. You know, it's a big week next week where Arsenal are concerned. We're playing against Aston Villa on the Friday. Before that, we've got Crystal Palace, two teams we dropped unnecessary points, in my opinion, at the Emirates. So we'll get over that. There isn't too much to speak about. You know, the Brentford gaffer's been linked with the Arsenal position. There's some other bits and pieces in relation to transfer news. Other than that, there isn't too much that anyone should be alarmed about or shocked by or anything of that nature. And I obviously wanted to speak about if Arsenal can actually, don't know why that's playing, if Arsenal actually can achieve Europe, which I feel probably, on one hand, I feel it's possible. On the other hand, I feel it's extremely unlikely, if I'm completely honest with you, of Arsenal getting Europe. But, you know, we keep striving, we keep hoping for the best and whatnot. Big up to everybody locked in. I hope everyone's doing well and safe as usual, folks, where you lot are concerned. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Appreciate you, Trevor. Big up yourself for being locked on. One love to that. So yeah, in relation to Arsenal being able to get the Champions League or Europa League, I'm actually not too sure. But what I do need to do is write a timestamp for this, people. So yeah, my opinion on if Arsenal can qualify for Europe, I think yes and no. If you apply ifs and buts, you know me, I don't like ifs and buts, people. Ifs and buts are not facts. You know, if you know, we beat, you know, if certain things happen in the Leicester title winning year, we might have done something. If Jens Lehmann wasn't a dickhead, maybe we'd be a Champions League winning club. A lot of these things would have been in place. So ifs and buts are not facts. I believe, as long as, to quote Arsene Wenger, as long as it's mathematically possible, you have a chance. On the other hand, I think yes, if we play like how we played recently, but I'd say no, because I don't know what I'm going to get with Arsenal. You know, the narrative was very negative at the start of the season. It's improved. What happens if we drop points against Palace and Villa? Are we going to stay? For me, I'd say no, because I don't know what I'm going to get game to game from Mikel Arteta, any of these players. I don't know if they're able to apply themselves to the standard I need them to be able to do to achieve European football. And obviously, again, we've got a difficult bout of fixtures, really. You know, we've just come out of a difficult run, excluding the games we've been winning. But saying that, many people wouldn't have expected to do that. And the play where we was at as a club, every game's a tough game. So I'm not sure. For me to really believe in Europe, I have to see us come out of the December period going into January still in and amongst the top six realistically and showing form and things like that. It's just consistency. I think one thing that goes against us when I look at the other people, we have an inexperienced team and we have an inexperienced manager who don't really know the league, don't really know how to get over the line. They're going to show great periods, but they're also going to show shaky periods. And I think we've shown with our game and man management last season how Arteta rotates his squad that we're dealt a short hand, you know, on top of quality. You know, again, I'm trying not to focus on top four. There's no point speaking about that. Mathematically, it's possible. I want you to push for that. But, you know, there's about 4 teams better than us in this league already. So we have to, well, more, but you have to write that off really and truly. You know, we're not finishing ahead of City or Liverpool. The way Chelsea are moving, you write that off. Probably expect Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo and co to finish ahead of us. So there's that. So European places, or better yet, targeting a Europa League place, sorry, is probably where Arsenal need to go. I do think Europa League's possible, but again, I don't know, because we've got the players I believe in are very young and naive and been around the block in the same way. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, everything they do everything they do works very well and works and whatnot. On the other hand, it's a myth. What's my man said here? 21 dislikes, the bots and baby mums have assembled. Again, there's something going extremely wrong, bro. You know, already there's hella dislikes. Again, I think that they're actually killing the channel, if I'm honest with you. You know, where the hell is that coming from? Out of nowhere, 21 dislikes. You get it? So there's some serious problems happening, you know, but I need to email YouTube about that, because they're actually stopping the grind. But it is what it is. We keep going. But as I was saying about Europe, we should probably be targeting Europa League. Again, that probably puts us in contention with the West Hams, with the Leicesters, you know, all of these teams that are probably playing a bit ahead of us. And as I was saying, everything's going cushy right now for these young players, but there's going to be times where Ramsdale goes through a bout of form where he's going to need to be carried. Tomiyasu the same, the centre half's the same, Mikel Arteta the same, and etc. all around the squad. So I do think we're going to struggle in that regards. I do think there's going to be a bit of a problem. Dislikes, drive, engagements, and analytics doesn't matter regardless. I'm not sure that's the case, man, because it is what it is. But you know, it doesn't affect me. But it is just like, bro, what's going on, bro? You know, what the hell is going on there, man? But anyways, man, we'll win the case. I'm not worried about that. We'll win the case, man. It's 21 dislikes out of nowhere. You know, last time I checked, it was 2. It used to be 2 a night, and it's more. Bots keep this liking. But it is what it is. But in relation to Europe, I think Arsenal will struggle. That's just what I'm getting at. I just think Arsenal will come short. I don't think we've got it. We've got a young, naive squad. We've got an inconsistent squad. I don't think we have the depth for it. I'm not trying to be negative. I don't think we have the depth for it because, you know, a couple of injuries were in problems. I do think we need to find a certified 11 and all of these sort of things in relation to what we're doing. But that being said, you need to know when you can rotate the team, when you can change things up and whatnot. And I do think when you look at games like Brighton, we haven't quite got the luxury, or, you know, we can't apply ourselves with the same energy that we did against Spurs. And I don't think we can, we're not a team that can afford, we haven't got a basic competency where we can take out a centre mid, mess around with 1-2 options and have the same standard. And I feel we're not adaptable. You know, again, I feel our manager lets us down as well, because sometimes we're tactically, I think in-game and man management he struggles. So I do think we'll fall up short. That being said, if Arsenal do not get Europe in any capacity, it's nothing short of failure. And, you know, people need to be held accountable, and people probably need to, you know, leave their roles, if I'm honest with you. So that's where I'm at in relation to Europe, if I'm completely honest with you, folks. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and all of these sort of things, folks. Is what it is. YouTube. I assume from bots. It is what it is. It is what it is. Big up, DG. Just finished my day's activities. One love to you. DG, can you check who gave you dislikes? No, you can't, man. It is what it is. Not a clue, man. Not a clue. There's actually some transfer news that we can get into as well. Again, it's nothing major, but I came across it when it came out. So let's go on transfer news. Again, probably not the biggest of things, people, but where Arsenal are concerned, and for what it's worth, apparently Mikel Arteta is giving his press conference today. But for what it's concerned, you know, and again, this guy's decent, to be fair with you. Genk star Paul Anuchu is a boyhood Arsenal fan and has never hidden his desire to join the Gunners. As you lot can see here, Atletico desire player for 20 million January signing. Player and agent may prefer Arsenal move. It hasn't quite said Arsenal are interested just yet, people. Having finished the previous campaign, with 35 goals and 5 assists in all competitions for Gent, the striker has enjoyed a good start this season, managing 11 goals in 14 matches. The 27-year-old's form has caught the attention of Atletico Madrid Marca, and they claim the player is an object of desire for Andrea Berta, who is obviously the Spanish club's technical director, and he has already made contact with, obviously, Gent's side. He's valued at 20 40 million euros. And obviously, Atletico need to decide. So this just seems like Arsenal are being thrown into things to do things, people. But it is what it is, people. It said if they sign him in the winter, the attacker will not occupy a non-Euro EU spot until the end of the season. Again, it just says back in May, sorry, the Nigerian publicly admitted he wants to join Mikel Arteta's side after revealing Arsenal his dream club. And apparently later in July, his agent also stressed it'd be nice if Arsenal want to sign his client. So away from that, it just seems like it's just worse. Obviously, you've got here Arsenal intend to negotiate player signing, and the club could solve each other's problem. Spanish duo Atletico Madrid and Sevilla are expected to bid for Alexandre Lacazette next summer when his contract expires with Arsenal. That's according to La Rosen, who say the latter could have an advantage courtesy of Arsenal's interest in El Nesri. The website reports that while both clubs will be free to negotiate with the Arsenal man from January about a free transfer next summer, they could move for him in January as well. That's because they want to get ahead of other competitors for the Frenchman, namely Juventus and Milan. And I mean, he's been linked with both Milan clubs, really. I mean, quite a lot of clubs have been, has been whatever, people. It's quite crazy. He's been linked with quite a lot of big clubs that maybe Lacazette's punching for. It is what it is, man. Apparently, if that's the case, Sevilla would have an advantage over Atletico as Arsenal intend to negotiate with the Spanish club for El Nesri. They see him as a replacement for Lacazette, and so the two clubs could reach some sort of agreement that sees the two players swapping clubs in January. That deal would presumably see Arsenal having to spend a little bit of cash. I mean, there's no logic to it, in it, really and truly. This is just forced. It's just throwing Arsenal around into stuff. So that's where transfer news are concerned, people, or lack of. Man said, "All right, listen, all we got to do is make sure we've got more likes in it. Like they're gonna lose in it. They're just jarring. They can't. We're at 33 likes already in it, people. Let's not give them any attention, people. Whatever they're doing, fair play to you. It's working. It seems to be working in terms of disliking, but we keep moving. All I know is you won't win. Like you just delay a journey. You won't win. Like we're still gonna be here. We're still gonna be here styling and profiling and whatnot. So it is what it is. Just know you won't win. So keep disliking the thing, really, and sometimes you see it decrease and that as well. So it starts getting a bit weird what's going on. We should have bought Lamptey as a right back. He's levels above the guy we signed. I mean, to be fair with you, I like Lamptey, but what's your basis on saying that? Big up yourself as well, G1. The live wasn't playing for the last 5 minutes. It might have happened to others. I'm not sure that's the case, but fair play. Haters hate your fresh trim. Big up from Italy. The more you get bigger, the more you get more hate. One love. Come on, my guy. I don't know about getting bigger. We're struggling for growth, but we keep moving, man. We keep moving. Please let me know you lot's thoughts on potentially Thomas Frank being our manager, or Frank. I can't pronounce his name. Obviously, that's the primary reason we're here, people. He's been linked with the Arsenal job. Would you guys take him? Wouldn't you? Now, for what it's worth, before I read the article for myself, people, he fits the system. He's 20. I mean, I wish he was 27. He's 47 years of age. So again, he's young. He's got time on his side, really, in terms of management. He's got experience. The Danish manager as well. He works at a system like Brentford, so they're used to selling players, replacing players, maximizing the best out they can get out of players, working in tandem with maybe not quote unquote a sporting director, but finding targets, developing them, potentially, seeing what you can do with them and then selling them on, and he's shown he can overperform with players. Now, there will come a point where Brentford probably level out, but I think Brentford have been really good. Took 3 points off us, took a point off Liverpool, and have been decent since the start of the season. Now, all that matters is where they finish in May, but you get the point. So there are reasons to want to accept him. I think it's a non-story, clearly, because Arsenal are happy with Mikel Arteta. I don't want to go as far as to say the sentiment has changed regarding Mikel Arteta, but it seems like it's a bit healthier where he's concerned. So I don't think there's claws on his back and there's pitchforks ready for him to lose, really and truly. So, he is a decent manager, but I don't think there's anything to it. CeeLo has said he's a good manager and has experience. He's not the top target I would get, but he's getting the best out of these players. That's true. Hi, DG. I would take Thomas Frank over Arteta any day. I don't get this patience and backing of this manager. He's had 2 years and we're still 12th. No more acceptance of mediocrity. Enough. Move on. Fair play. Good opinions. Interesting. Two conflicting opinions. based on the experience you've laid out and what he has achieved over the last few years, I'd be open to it. I wouldn't be against it. I don't know who my top target would be, but it wouldn't probably be him. But I wouldn't be against it, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. Martin Petrov has said, I watched the highlights of the 2-1 Champions League game between Arsenal and Barcelona from 2011 this morning. Seems like a lifetime ago. I would have him as a manager, but deserves to stay at Brentford, to be fair. True. But to be fair, he's been linked with Arsenal and United. Again, for me, you probably would want to stay at Brentford, but you couldn't begrudge a man for wanting to explore and wanting to leave and depart and try something else, people. It might make sense. But if I share these sort of articles with you, Brentford boss Frank responds to Arsenal and Man United links to replace Arteta or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's refused to rule out taking over at Arsenal or Manchester United in the future, but insists that he's happy in West London. The 48-year-old Dane has made something of a name for himself in England after guiding the Bees to the Premier League. Apparently, and they have played fairly attractive football. I like the fact that they never give up. They're very street smart in a way. And they do show naiveties, but they try to play football, and you get the vibe with Brentford that obviously immediately it's about staying in the league, retaining your place, but you get the vibe that if they find some Premier League stability, they will try and maybe push into Europe and do other things. This is why I'm so against teams like Burnley. You don't really want to do much with being in the Prem. This is what I like to see teams like Leicester and all these guys. They want to push on and do things. And to be fair, Frank is deserved his plaudits, people. He's admitted he's flattered by the links of two of the country's elite clubs. I mean, historically, yes, not too sure you could say they're elite at this moment in time. But he said, so I understand that well, but Arsenal and Manchester United wasn't that how it was? I think I read that at some point. It's very nice, but one thing is rumors and the other is if they really wanted to contact me, then we'd have to take it from there. And it's true. There's no point getting, as a manager, I'm sure it's very nice to be linked with clubs, two bigger clubs than Brentford, two quote unquote, one of the biggest clubs in the league historically. It shows that you're doing a good job. Who doesn't want admirers and things like that, It's always nice to be called handsome by the galley and that in general, regardless, in it. Can I get amen? Amen. But obviously away from that, again, he's right. There's no point talking about it or flirting with either clubs because nothing's concrete. Doesn't appear Manchester United are currently close to sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If certain things happen, then it could be gone. Arteta, as I said, the sentiment has appeared a bit more positive and appeared to change, but at the same time, it's still out there. They're still in it. That again, a couple more losses and things happen. I don't know if he'll be the first target. There's names like Brendan Rodgers, Graham Potter, all of these names. Certain people might sit there and say Conte, but it is what it is. He's right. There's no point flirting about it, man. Really, you make an offer, you have to take it from there. He is contracted until 2023, and you have to wonder how long is that Brentford project going to stay together, really, because a couple of their players probably could get moves to bigger clubs. If they don't stay in the league and whatnot, what happens then? I'm sure once you get a taste for the Premier League, if you're a player or the manager, you don't want to forego that. You don't want to let that go, people. So it is what it is, people. He said, I have a contract until 2023. I'm insanely happy at Brentford. It's a club that means a lot to me and where I've had a lot of great times. I enjoy working with our sporting director. So he's shown he can also work with that. Owners, players, staff, and fans. It's the club who must come to me, but now we must see what the future brings. I know we have a mutual respect and a good relationship with each other. As you know, Brentford could move into the top four if other results go their way and they beat Chelsea. Added to that, they also have a London derby. So again, he's right. It doesn't make sense to get hung up on hysterics, and just to see that his, maybe some quotes haven't been missed. Let me just see what's going on there. I mean, what's this part? This publication here. What's he said here? I mean, Google Translate, you're gonna help me? Google Translate is not trying to help. Say nothing. We gotta take it the old school way, people. Google Translate. We've got to go old school, people, and do it our own way. Again, if it don't make sense, apologies for it, people. Let's scroll all the way down. He's been linked with these clubs. He said the same. He said the same thing. He said, oh, sorry, we did miss out some things. He said the second is rumors. So I understand that well, but Arsenal and United, wasn't that how it was? I think I read that at some point. It's very sweet. Well, no, we haven't missed out anything. So yeah, we didn't miss out a thing, people, really and truly. We didn't miss out anything, really. Like we got there. So yeah, it is what it is where he's concerned, people. I mean, Thomas, he's a name that, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing then, because you're going to get linked with Arsenal. You could potentially, quote unquote, get linked with bigger clubs and better clubs, really and truly. So it's down to him to decide what's going on in that regards, people, really. Keep moving, man. One love to everyone who's hit that like button so far, folks. One love to everyone that's hit that like button so far. So yeah, man. What else is going on? I think that's actually it. What's going on in football, man? You lot got anything to say? I've spoken about Europe, spoken about these things. It is what it is. A couple people have unsubscribed. Right, we're really struggling for growth, boy. Hit a serious roadblock. Jeez. But yeah, what else she's saying? Who in the heck is Thomas Frank? We need someone known for success. I'm not saying you're wrong, but at the same time, who was Arsene Wenger when he stepped into the job? Who was Pep Guardiola when he looked at Barcelona? You know, all that matters is that if the man has integrity, if he has, you know, if he's got clarity over his tactics, that's all I care about, because we could bring in someone whose name brand and they could do effing crap here. So I think that's a bit disrespectful. And I think, you know, you need to watch a bit more football if you're asking who the hell it is. But I'm worried about young talents that are rotting away in the academy, DG. Is the first team too good that young players like Patino, Salah, Dean Hutchinson cannot appear on the bench? I think just let them develop. I think they're a long way away from challenging for Premier League football consistently. So I think your worries are a bit misplaced, but fair play, man. DG, did you hear Edu hadn't heard of Jude Bellingham? Sums up our management, God help us. I can't lie, I do think the papers are gassing, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was an opportunity to bring in obviously to bring in Jude, and we forgone it. I'll take him if he shows 2 more years of consistent managing. Fair play. I like Thomas Frank too. I like Graham Potter, to be honest. Wasn't really convinced initially, but I think he'd be perfect for us. This would be a sideways step in terms of manager caliber. I hear you, but all I care about is a manager's able to have clarity over his tactics. I mean, Arteta's got a lot of propaganda. We could get these Contes and these guys, and it might not work and be expensive failures. So again, anything's up in air. I'm not saying I'm more for Thomas Frank than Conte, but I'm just saying there's, you know, not everything's a foolproof thing. My problem is, obviously, it doesn't matter if you bring in an experienced man, or I don't want to say he's not experienced, but you bring in someone like Thomas and they're going to struggle if everyone's not singing from the same hymn sheet. No, he's never been to a big club before. We need an elite coach who's got experience under his belt. Should have snapped up Rafa Benitez in the summer because Conte was never going to be approached. Can't lie, I'm not really on the Rafa Benitez one, if I'm honest with you. But I hear it. I hear it. And let's actually take a delve into Thomas Frank's past. I know he's been, swear he was at Brentford. There was 2 like head coaches at one point and things like that. I mean, just by quickly looking at his managerial career, people, you know, he was named, you know, his first position at Brøndby. He achieved 4th and 3rd finishes respectively, and he also qualified for the Europa League, but they didn't progress beyond that, people. Yeah, and he actually resigned from Brøndby because he was being criticized by the chairman via online forums. He's obviously primarily worked as in youth development and stuff, and he's taken jobs at under 19s level, where Denmark, apologies, are concerned. They did fail to qualify for the 2013 European under 19 Championship. Such people. He moved to Brentford as assistant head coach alongside Richard O'Reilly. You know, he was allegedly meant to be the bridge between the players and coaching staff. So when you look at it a bit, I can't lie to you lot, people. When you do look at it, I'm not going to lie, it does have skills I would look for in the next Arsenal manager, whether they're experienced or not. When I hear bridge between the players and the coaching staff, that must tell me your man management and understanding of players and how they no 2 individuals that are the same should be spot on. You do see a lot of that reflected in how he carries on at Brentford. He's obviously worked within youth football. That's something Arsenal need. You know, we've got a lot of young players around the team. You know, I hope we still have that mandate of 1 academy player progressing every other season. So that would probably mean next year we'd see the next one pop up. Maybe that's Miguel Aziz, Charlie Patton, or Amari Hutchinson, whatever. You know, obviously, in fact, to be fair, you've had Balogun in the first team now, technically, and a couple of young players. So there are some skills there. And obviously, he's shown, you know, you've got to give respect to a man. A man got promoted out the Championship. You know, that's not a fluke. That's not a fluke. You've got to give him that. He's navigated out the Championship. And I don't want to get too gassed off early form because narratives can change, people. But you know, he has started the season very, very, very good, really and truly. So yeah, for me, what I like about him, and then just looking at it, he took the role after Dean Smith. He guided in his first season. I think he guided them to the fifth round of the FA Cup and finished 11th in the Premier League. They didn't start this, as you all know, they didn't start the season best of seasons last season, but they made the playoff role. Playing fantastic 4-3-3 and that, and obviously he won the playoffs really. And he actually studied psychology as well at university. So there is something around this guy, man. I do like him. I do like what I see. He seems an interesting character, really and truly. If I'm completely honest with you, I'm trying to. Is there a way to delve further and further into this guy? But like, look at him because I know for me, Brentford play good football. Tactically, they look good, but I don't know much about them from a tactical point of view, really, beyond what we saw and the fact they're a street smart team, really. So there is something around him, man. There is something around him. Like, should we look at this article? I'm just typing in stuff, just trying to delve into just understand things. Really, I need to find a Brentford fan to really sit here and speak about with. But apparently, Brentford are already demonstrating canny streetwise edge in the Premier League. Again, away from the wankfest of Brentford. Let's just find what's actually happening, people. I'm not here for the segment. I'm here for what we down in the nuts and bolts to it, people. Thought this is a bit of a shit article. I thought this would have talked about him tactically. But let's scroll down and hope we can see that. Nope, that there's nothing there from a tactical point of view. So there's not too much. I mean, I could tell you how he uses Ivan Toney and Canos and that, but that's dead really and truly, if I'm honest with you. Brentford were really unlucky not to get promoted in the season before they did as well. Missed out on second place in the last game after a 2-1 loss to Barnsley, and they didn't qualify for the playoffs from then. Where's Carlo Ancelotti at now? I mean, in case you didn't know, my man's at Real Madrid, did it? So unless he gets clapped from there, he's a passion merchant as well. This is what I'm on. And to be fair, Arteta low-key is a passion merchant as well, because he always talks about the fans, the need for noise, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, man, I'm sure Arsenal fans, we all remember instantly, from the moment that game started in the first day of the season, he was gassing up the fans and playing on the 12th man. And to be fair, you've got to do that in the Premier League. It's about energies and all of these sort of things, people. Let's keep hitting the like button. There's 100 of you being locked in. Can we boost towards 100 likes, people, and do what we can? He's selling himself well. Reminds me of how Rodgers moved from Swansea to Liverpool. Fair play. Counteractive comment, not a sideward step at all. Give him a shot. He has experience in a style of play. That's where I'm at. He wouldn't be my first choice. Half the guys we wouldn't get. Like, if I'm honest with you, Brendan Rodgers, Potter, Frank, I don't think none of these guys are coming. I do think 2 of the 3 names I said are probably more open to arriving at the Emirates, but I think we've really got to strip it back. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti, Conte, all them man there, I would love it, but we've got to really strip things back. And I think we need a manager that can be here for the long term, a manager that has the bit of the ingredients he has. Of course, I would like experience, but again, if we bring in experience, man, again, you've got to give them something, man. I can't see the acceptance of everyone going all in on Arteta. Chelsea have shown you can give managers a shot, chop and change and still achieve success. But I can hear that, but we're not Chelsea. We do need stability. I do agree with you. What I don't understand is the propaganda and the excuses that Arteta is allowed to cut and things like that. But it is what it is. I believe a competent manager gets the best out of a player like Pepe, improves Saka even more. Don't get me wrong, the players also have to look at themselves too. That's true. Arsenal need a Big Sam. Nah, I think none of that, man. None of that. I ain't no one trying to pay money to go to Emirates and do live stream and see Big Sam as the gaffer. Man, are going mad. And I thought we moved away from Arsenal getting relegated sort of talk. So we're cool in that regards, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Pepe has been at the club for 3 years now. Up to now, the 72 million player is still a work in progress. I mean, to be honest with you, it is. I mean, anyone that was looking at Pepe knows we've been swindled over him. And to be fair, I do think Arteta has improved him. Anyone that looked at Pepe for 72 million and thought you're getting your North London's very own Mo Salah or talisman, mistake. We got swindled, overpaid. It's not 70 odd million up front, but we got swindled, we got overpaid. At best, he can just be a competent first team / rotation option and chip in rather than be a leader of this side, if I'm honest with you. And we can talk about cut our losses where no one's going to give us 50 million for him, really and truly. It's between we need to really revamp how we spend big money, because what did we get for the peas on Lacazette? What did we get for the peas on Pepe currently? And I do think people are a bit unfair to Pepe. His numbers have been all right. Same with Lacazette, but Lacazette hasn't been the Lacazette we're getting from Lyon. If you honestly believe that, I think you're lying. You're lying to yourself, most importantly, man. So proper, when you say things enough times, it becomes true. And I can't lie. Sometimes I do think there's unnecessary pitchforks out for Arteta, but at the same time, it's a results business, and he really should be on borrowed time from last November. Now, deservedly so. He's turned his form around, 10 points from 12. He deserves the pressure to go off him less. But for me, I'm in neutral ground. I'm judging you based on what you're doing when we're winning, and judging you obviously based on what we're doing at the start when we're we're losing. But I'm in the middle ground. When we're losing, I didn't learn too much about Arteta. Now that we're winning, I still haven't learned too much. Like my guy Budge said, we've broken even, quite frankly, on the guy, really. We've lost a couple games, we've brought games back where, there's a couple injuries. There's probably going to be more. October and November look long. There's no point even talking about January. We've got City. It's a time where everyone needs to stand up and be counted. And you only know how good a player is, or anyone is, at their worst. And there's going to be, like I said, Aaron Ramsdale, I see little bits and pieces. You see how Xhaka bailed him out? There's going to be times that's going to be a mistake. There's going to be times certain things happen. Same way Tomiyasu's gone through good form, he's going to have shaky moments. The two young lads at centre half, Smith Rowe and Saka, based on last season, they're going to have slow periods. We're a young team. We're going to have clangers. We're going to drop clangers. We're going to do bewildering things. And it's down for Arteta to coach these things out. And I don't think my manager is flexible enough when I need him to be, if I'm completely honest with you. Like, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I act like I know it all, but I did think we would have had a better chance if we changed things and went with a back three against Brighton. We got a point, but I think we needed a chance. I think the game got away from us in the second half against Spurs, if I'm completely honest with you, and he could have done a bit more. I also feel, I look back to even the Chelsea game, no one would have started Marie anyways, because him against Lukaku in the channels is long. But immediately in that game, remember, we were all there, because some of the names I'm seeing, some of you were here on the live stream. We were sat there and we were saying, listen, he needs to change things. He needs to change things. He needs to change things. Reece James, Mount, Lukaku, they're isolating Marie. Something's going to happen. And it's like sometimes everyone can see something but the manager. Sometimes when I need Arteta to complicate things and be a bit adventurous, he isn't that. When you need to just keep things basic and, call a spade, I don't think he does that. So again, and I just feel there's never enough pressure on Arteta to learn from his mistakes, because I just don't feel he's got enough pressure on his back beyond the obvious. So yeah, man, that's what I believe in relation to Thomas Frank. So it is what it is, man. And Mikel Arteta, get your opinions and comments and whatnot in, people. We're only at 72 likes. Can we boost that up a bit, people? And whatnot. Two lucky 1-0 wins against struggling teams and one good half against Spurs doesn't equate to a great turnaround. Brighton game shows our level. And this is the problem with Arsenal fans, bro. It's that we're so quick to want to rush a narrative. Bit harsh to say lucky wins, but I get where you're coming from. People can't look at things with perspective. It's only when we lose that people want to microscope these games and look at things. It's like we're people think we're at a level that we're not. We're not at that level where we can win every game. We're not going to win every game. It's like Arsenal fans, because we were so poor at the start of the season, it's like we've become accustomed to believing we're going to go out there and win every game. Now, that being said, I need us to win these next two games next week, because Palace and Villa, if you're really serious, last season we messed up in them games at home. So I want to see that you lot have learned from your mistakes, if I'm completely honest. It's as simple as that. Hit the like button if you haven't. I know Mikel Arteta is having his press conference, people, but I don't know if it's actually everything's come out yet. For what it's worth, apparently, Arsene Wenger's getting a movie. Sorry, folks, off topic. Let me just show you. Look, this apparently Arsene Wenger's getting a movie. Arsene Wenger Invincible. Arsene Wenger Invincible, the definitive portrait of one of the greatest managers of all times, comes to cinema from November the 11th. Can be available on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna get that. Father Wenger. Hometown Village. Come on, you had to get Sir Alex Ferguson to co-sign that. You got the legends. When I see Ian Wright, Bergkamp, Henry, all these guys, Defo, definitely buying that. Definitely. Without a doubt, 110 million% people. So yeah, Mikel Arteta hasn't quite given his press conference. He's playing Arsene Wenger. I don't know. It seems like just some documentary thing. So I'll say he's playing himself. I get the team is so young, but even before our attack is unstable, bro, our attack is dead, bro. I don't even think our attack, our I don't blame the youthfulness on our attack. We've got no plans. Like we've got no. Once we get into the final third, I don't see any plans. I don't see how we're gonna put the ball in the back of the net. It's sideways, sideways. Occasionally, there's some individual brilliance. I'm not gonna lie. Against Spurs, the exception to the rule out of all the games, still in the negatives. That's the one game I saw this season where when we're breaking forward, whether it was Smith Rowe and Aubameyang for their goal, Saka for Saka's goal, or the one Saka set up, I think it was the same goal with Smith Rowe or whoever. Yeah, you get the point. No point going back. That was the only game where it looked like we had a plan of how we're going to get the ball from Ramsdale and typically finish it off with a Aubameyang or whatever. And that's my biggest pet peeve, because what's the whole point of playing out from the back? Is it not to create a goal? And it doesn't look like we have a plan from start to finish. We don't press enough consistently, adding to the naiveties of the managers, the question marks over some players, and the normal teething problems that were going to come with having an average squad age of around 23. It's a myth. Would you sign a striker in Jan? If so, who? I would look to place a little cheeky bid for Vlahovic or Kareem Adeyemi, but it's a myth for either one, really and truly, in January. You're right. The attack is terrible, man. Bro, people are looking at results and not performances. And I learned that on YouTube, because I think one of the worst periods for me on YouTube was when we went under that unbeaten run under Una Emre. Like I couldn't believe it. Like we went on a run under Una Emre, and we were unbeaten in that, but people were just waffling. I was like, nah, man. And I was gassed off it too. And then I deeped at one point. I was like, hang on about, we're always needing to change things in the second half. Maybe we're not doing things right. And I really clocked it when we turned it around against Cardiff, who were obviously newly promoted, and it was a slugfest, but we was all gassing that we're unbeaten and things. It's like, this is one of the shittest unbeaten runs I've ever seen. And it's, the luck's going to run out with, this is kind of fraudy, if I'm honest with you. It's fraudulent. So it is what it is. Balogun needs to go on loan, man. We need a Pogba, man. We should battle hard for Tuchemani or similar. Him and Pogba are two different players. Tuchemani, I was telling you, lot from Bordeaux. Bordeaux times is when you got to grab him. Now they're saying 60 million. Absolute lovely player. Again, if Kante is not fit and Pogba's going to play, they should be the pivot. You see how better Pogba plays with him in relation to Rabiot at that level. And he's a fantastic baller. Think his future is as a number 6, but that's 60 million euros. And now you got Chelsea onto you, City onto you, Real Madrid onto you, Liverpool onto you. Bro, we're a myth. It's a myth for us from then. You got to grab these man before people are looking. It's like buying your winter jacket in the summer. You got to do that now. It's going to be discounted and stuff. Suddenly, when winter comes, everybody's looking for a warm jacket. The price has gone up. Or buying your summer clothes in the winter. Them things there. This is what you need to do, really. The man's a baller, nothing short of a baller. How you doing, bro? I'm doing good, man. I hope you're good. Big up to you and the rest of the DG Nation. In terms of physicality, I think we've got that in Lokonga and Partey. But I hear you. We do need someone that can replace Xhaka or two players. Balogun needs to hit alone, man. I don't think he's ready. I'm not going to lie to you. I want him to get chances. I want him to prove me wrong. It's not that I don't think he's good enough. I just think you're too raw for this thing right now. Like, we need someone that's going to grab goals. You're not going to, obviously, if you're thrown in, you might, but I don't think it's going to be one of them Greenwood things with Balogun. He's not one of them sort of kinds. He needs to go out on loan, like against Brentford, be out of his depth. You saw him. He looked like a duck out of water, It was killing. It was making me laugh, really, because this is what I've wanted for Balogun for a while. People are pulling his shirt. He's looking to the ref, trying to snitch to the ref. This is the dark arts. This is the game. This is it now. This is what street smart centre-halves are going to do. Not turning it on against these 23s and whatnot. And again, he needs to, if he's not going to play, loan the man out. Let him play. Let him develop. Obviously, we review next summer if he's levels. If not, go on loan again. If he's not ready, make some profit on the man, because there's got to be interest. The very club behind me, Brentford, were onto him. Swansea apparently want him on loan. Go out and show that you can do things. Really, because maybe that's where Eddie struggled, because Eddie and Joe, for time, they were on the cusp of the first team. They didn't go out on loan. Eddie went to Leeds, it didn't bang. As a striker, Eddie has not got a solid CV at all. You've not shown you can score goals. Yeah, you've occasional cup game for Arsenal, occasional important goal and stuff, but you ain't shown you can do much, really. If Balogun can go, show you can bag in the championship or wherever you go, there's something to build on. And bro, it's what people do. I understand the excitement for youth football and all these things, but it kills me when people make conclusions when I can especially as I've been watching the young players more. It makes me smirk sometimes, especially with these journalists when they say this player is highly rated, that player. I'm not saying they're bad players, but Are you really watching football? A lot of propaganda was with Balogun, and obviously the man's naive. He just wanted to develop and stuff. But once you get through the naiveties and you're signing a new deal and taking the pictures at the Emirates and a squad number and whatnot, and you get down to the nuts and bolts of this thing, bro. Aubameyang and Lacazette, they're still ahead of you for a year. Martinelli's probably going to play ahead of you. You know, you've got Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, and all these guys who can play off the left. And obviously, whether you're a striker or a winger, there's only so many attacking players that can go, really. Eddie clearly is still ahead of you because he's starting in the cup. So again, if you go away from the youthful naiveties and look at it, it was probably naive to expect to play first team football, which is why maybe a new contract and a loan, because bro, you're playing 23s. Balogun's badding it up. You see what he done against that Brighton done? Bro, you're not doing that in first team like that easy. You know, he's twisting man up for what reason? He's just making man flat track bullies, and this is where we go. We need these guys to be out of their comfort zones. Hit the like button. We need them to be out. That's only you can thrive. You can't become a baller just badding up 23s. I need this guy to be out of his comfort zone, and I was a bit disappointed that Balogun never got no opportunities last season so everyone could see his level. I think he'll come good. But yeah, man, he just needs a loan, really. If he can play here, fair play, that would be my first preference. But if the man isn't going to play, as I always say, minutes are currency, especially as a young man. I swear he's turning 20 soon as well. So there isn't any time to waste. So he needs to get with it, if I'm completely honest with you. So it is what it is. Make sure we're hitting the like button, people. Balogun needs a loan to develop. People were gassing him without watching him. Already spoke on Noah Lang slightly earlier. Badly needs a loan. Balogun says, Omar, you heard the man, hit the like button, yo. Like Patso in the house. Big up the Bulgarians locked in. Jonathan David is the one. I can't lie, man. I hear you, but I rate him, but I'm waiting. Like for me, I'm a bit of a funny one. I need to see real uptake in performance. I haven't seen that real purple patch yet, like I'm seeing from Karim Adeyemi, because anyone that's been following me for time, I've been saying Karim Adeyemi. Then there was a real purple patch, and I'm like, yep, confirmation. This needs to happen now. I haven't really seen that, really. Man are saying David or Leao. I can't lie, if it's based on this season, I'm more feeling Leao, you know. To be fair, Leao's probably going to do the Lacazette thing and all them handshakes, but I just think Leao's been moving a bit mad. But I rate David. I just don't think he's as clinical as him, if I'm honest. I think Martinelli needs 1-2 loan if we can't place him in the squad. Facts. And like you said at the end, if we can't place him. Who would be an ideal loan for Balogun? I'd say Swansea's a good one. It's a quiet place. You just focus on football. There's one of those things that's an avenue to explore. You know, I'd say the Championship is a good look. I would say try and find, you know, try and ask Mislintat, what's he saying? Try and chat to him and say, what, you want to take him at Stuttgart? I'd be trying to loan him, without sounding rude, to a team that with low resources, like with respect to Swansea, again, they ain't got the biggest of resources. Can we go for a squad that has less resources, a small squad, and really look to utilize them things? Because if they've got a small squad and small resources, they have to utilize what they have, which means probably more game time, really. And we've got to remember, I can't lie, you know, if I'm a Championship manager, I can't lie, you know, Balogun could show his quality and you might need it, but if I'm trying to keep my job or get out of the league, I kind of would want to bring in an experienced man or someone with a bit of quality. Like, I'll be honest with you, if I was a Championship club, the first player I'll be trying to get on my books would be Liam Delap from Man City, or anyone. I'd be trying to do that. And this is what I'm saying. Tammy Abraham, people would, like I said then and I say it now, I think it was very disrespectful to Tammy when people were saying Eddie's our Tammy. He's like, no, he's bloody not. Tammy Abraham done his thing at Villa, did his thing at Bristol. Fair enough, it didn't work for him at Swansea in the Premier League, but he had that, you know, that adversity. You know, he's got a solid base. This is why it's different for us. We keep a lot of these young players, and I think they like it. You know, they're very naive. You know, they want to stay in the first team. They believe they've kind of arrived yet. And I can't forgive them. I can forgive them for that. Sorry. You know, their first team, they're training with these players, but they're not developing. And I do feel, because if, you know, I did the interview with one of these, with a certain ex-Arsenal player, and you know, it's probably a better time to be at Arsenal, because some of these players, compared to players who haven't been given an opportunity historically, are lesser ability and they're closer to the first team. And it seems like there's widespread opportunities, man. And this is it. I mean, I would have taken Tammy Abraham, but as I say now, I say it again. The problem with us buying Tammy Abraham is, for me, he's an unfinished project. Like, we know he can score goals. Big up to him. He started well in Roma. He will do his thing. But his hold-up play ain't the best for a big man. He's not the best in the air. His anticipation for a big man isn't the best. Now he can score goals. My point is not to criticize him. We're going to bring in a next man that needs work, where we don't know what's going on with Balogun. You've got Martinelli that needs work. And, you go through the whole squad. We've got unfinished projects. So why are we buying more, man? Sometimes managers overlove some players too much. Facts. 100%, We're all we'd all do the same if we was managers. We'd all have a certain bias. 106 likes, people. One love. Can we keep pushing up that like button, people? Can we get to at least 130, 150? And them things there, man. Think Leeds would be good for Balogun to learn from Bamford how to bully a defender. I hear you. And to be honest, one thing I'm not gonna lie, even though Eddie Nketiah didn't look like he learned too much from a naive point of view against Leeds, I did think he must have learned a lot under Bielsa. He did come back a bit stronger physically. And to be honest, when he came back, there was a little period against Everton and Newcastle at the Emirates and maybe a next game where I don't want to say he took out somebody's spot in the team, but I'm sure he kept Aubameyang and or Lacazette out that team. So there is something, but I'm at the point that minutes, bro. Minutes are what you need. Minutes. Play. Like I said, Brentford at the start of the season, Balogun needs that every week, seeing what it's about. Okay, I might be stronger than these defenders at under 23s level. First team, I try barge this guy, bro, I break my arm. Or I try outpace him, he's quicker than me. Or anything I try, he's reading the game. So what do? It's a thinker's game. And obviously, when you're playing 23s and you're beating up these people 9 times out of 10, you're not having to think. Bro, Balogun's not having to think to hit them skills. Bro, man's in a plating. Big up to Balogun, but it's a plating. Like, if you want to do that in the championship, you have to bloody well make sure you get out with it, because man are gonna kick off your ankles. People are in the 23s and that. People are just. I'm not saying people ain't got nothing to play for, because people are fighting all the time. But championship managers are fighting to stay in jobs. People are fighting for contracts. People are fighting for the breadline. Certain man, if they're not at certain teams in the championship, they might not even kick balls. So I think minutes are currency, man. Now, let me just type in championship and actually just championship. Let me see if there's what club. I would have said Brentford if they never got promoted. Maybe Bournemouth, Brentford, championship teams. Just show me every team in the championship, man. How hard is it? Like I said, teams with the lowest resources. So then I look at it. Let me show my screen with you. I think Birmingham could be good. They took Chong from United. He's doing all right. Bournemouth historically, Blackpool, they're giving Tyrese John Jules game time. Could we send him there as well? Again, Cardiff have taken Cardiff have taken 1 or 2 young players off us as well. What kind of bookie website is this, man? Big championship, and it's doing all of that. Fulham could be an avenue, wouldn't have to go too far. Derby, their financial situation might mean that they can't really bring in players. Is that an avenue? Coventry ain't got the biggest of resources. Could Luton do well with young players? Peterborough, look what they did for Ivan Toney. Swansea, I've said it's good. QPR, wouldn't mind. Reading could be an avenue. They give young players opportunities. Sheffield United did try buy him last year. Personally, if I'm Sheffield United, I'm trying to bring in someone more experienced because the Brewster thing didn't work. So, yeah, man, I would just say loan him to somewhere they're going to play young players, and ideally where they have limited resources. So they're not only bringing him in, but they're playing him. Because logically, what would you do if you're a championship team? I might say, yo, I'll take Balogun. But I might say, okay, cool. There's an experienced striker. Let me bring in both. I know Balogun has to develop, but pardon my language, fuck Balogun, because I didn't put a gun to Arsenal's head to take him. To take him. But at the same time, I need someone that's been around the block, so that might go against Balogun. So this is why I'm saying a team with limited resources. Look at Blackburn. They gave Harvey Elliott his chance. Now Harvey Elliott is more ahead of his development than I think Balogun. Do you know where it is? Balogun might even have to look at some League One teams. I'll be real with you. For me, it's a championship thing, but yeah, man, I think he really needs to assess what's going on. If you go through a season where you haven't played 10 first team games at any level, Balogun can only blame himself. He's at that age now where he needs to be selfish with his development. Don't listen to what any club tells you, any advisor. They're going to tell you if Arsenal, Arteta and Eddie, we're going to tell you everything. We want to keep our young players so we can potentially progress you to the first team or be sold. We're going to tell you every promise under the effing sun, So be selfish about your development. And I think a lot of these young players fall for the naiveties and then it don't bang really. So Balogun is at that stage. He can only blame himself if it comes the end of the season. He hasn't developed. And for me, I think it's a year. I thought last season he needed to go on loan, really, really and truly. And obviously the contract stuff that was going on clearly played a part that obviously disallowed him from doing stuff. Actually, would Dortmund take Balogun if Haaland leaves as a second option for them? Anything can happen, but I don't think Balogun's ready for all of that. Like, really and truly, they might take him as a earner. They can make a money on him, make a change on him, but dead, man. In my opinion, yeah, Balogun to Bournemouth put a lot of faith in Solanke and a couple other young forwards, Dan Juma and them man as well. Exactly. Eddie scored a couple last minute goals for Leeds as well as a header and a tap in. Just didn't get starts. And that's why, and that's why I'm asking, like, why not then? Because I can sit here and say maybe Bielsa did you dirty. Like, we know he was scoring 1-2 often, but you went on loan. Why didn't Bielsa start you on top of what's going on with Arsenal? I do think people are harsh on these young strikers. Even Eddie. Eddie might not be the mustard for Arsenal, but people expect these guys to be at 21, 22, to be the guys to be doing what Mbappe is doing and things. And not everybody's like that, man. It's not making sense, really and truly. Wow, who's Ahmed? What did Ahmed say? Pretty sure he couldn't have said nothing constructive. One love to him then, innit? Safe Ahmed. Make sure we're hitting that like button, people, because now we're playing against haters now. We're having to defeat them week in, week out now, day in, day out. Apologies. How you feeling? Bit weird because I don't know who the fuck is disliking all the shit all the time. But apart from that, DG Nation's always supporting the thing. So it's all good, man. Feeling a bit hungry. But that's about it. Really and truly. Keep your opinions and whatnot coming, folk. Appreciative of that. Oh, what the hell's going on? Plus that two. That's calm. Come on, appreciate you, Andrew, man. If you had the choice in January, DG, who would you take? Isaac and Inyemi El Nesri. I mean, Van Dam, you've been here enough times, bro. You know who I'm taking, man. You know who I'm taking, man. Shout out Isaac, Kareem Adeyemi every day of the week, man. Every day of the week, man. You're right, man. Don't worry about the dislikes, bro. Ignore them. They're just trying to get in your head. It's best we don't even acknowledge them in each video. You're right, man. You're right. Do you know, it's just a bad mind nature of it. It's like, what the hell? Like, what I do to you, bro? But anyways, we keep going. I don't know why he asked me that, but keep opinions going, man. Brentford is not Arsenal, so he's going to struggle. I would keep Arteta. I mean, there's nothing wrong with keeping Arteta, but you could actually argue Brentford are probably more functional than Arsenal. And to be fair to you, football is football. If you understand things, you can hit it off. I'm not saying you, and I'm not saying Thomas Frank is the best option, but I just think there's a lot of snobbery in football, and they always do it. They did it with Vardy, they did it with Kane, they did it with Salah, and now everybody rates. There's a lot of snobbery. This manager's not good enough, that player's not good enough, and then 12 months later, man, I'm wanking over them. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general, I do find it a bit snobby, really and truly. Brentford might not be Arsenal, but we're very similar in terms of what we're trying to do. DG, did you see Nasri? Bro, I don't listen. Do you know what's deep here? Everybody wanks on and cries about mental health and all of these things, and then everyone's calling a man fat and whatnot and all these things. So I think people need to be a bit easy, but at the same time, he's let himself go, innit? Nasri's really let himself go, man. Really, really let himself go. Really, is Arsene Wenger more fitter than you and looking in better health than you? But again, I don't know what's going on in the man's personal life, man. And this is it for me, Alex, fundamentally. This is why I'm not screaming, bring a man in, sign Thomas Frank and do all of these things, but I'm not against it, if that makes sense. And as you said, too many conclusions are being drawn. If we went on conclusions in August, Arsenal are getting relegated, Spurs are winning the league. Last season, City won the league, but you remember the first half of the year, man are saying Pep's done for, he's a fraud, he's this, he's that, he's the third. And so again, 7 games is not the be all and end all. Like I said, for me, I would entertain it. He'd be on a list because he fits the mandate. I wouldn't be against it. But again, like you said, you can't be gassing about 7 games and whatnot. I need to see Brentford at their worst, if I'm honest with you. If that kind of makes any sense. Sorry, people. Just making another one. Thomas Frank once again. Up there. It's easier to be mean when they're a snaky don, not gonna lie, but I can't lie, but it's positive vibes. Remember when people were saying Naguzman wasn't good enough for us, bro? People, this is what I'm saying. Man called Naguzman a fraud and all these things. IF appreciative. I mean, for what it's worth, again, for me, the jury's still out on Frank. Like I said, the only things I like, young players, maximizing your squad. You see what Brentford are trying to do in well, maybe not so much now, but buying players and selling players and locating players that people might not be looking at. These are things that we're trying to do at Arsenal. So for that, that's transferable skills if this was another interview. But and again, I like the fact that he rattles up the fans and gasses them and all these things. But apart from that, the jury's still out. For what it's worth, for me, I want to go down the experience route again, unless it's a Naguzman or something like that. I want to go down the experience route again. I personally want someone that's been around the block, all of these things, because I do think there'd be a lot better. I just think there's a lot of excuses given to Arteta, and I think there'll be more press from an experienced man. There'll be more of a sense of urgency, if I'm honest with you. Might be some twat logging into 22 alternate accounts just to dislike. Trust, man. All I'm gonna say is, baby mamas, I'm sorry, man. I did not mean it, man. I should have been honest. I'm sorry, man. Hope you're well, DG. Thomas Frank isn't. I don't know what you're saying there, man. Thomas Frank isn't. I think you mean isn't a good manager. Sorry, I need my glasses. Hope you're well, DG. Thomas Frank, even though a good manager and possibly better than Arteta, isn't what we need. Need people who can command commitment from the players in the dressing room. I hear you, P, but kind of what I've been speaking to. I think he does that. I mean, you don't get promoted out the Championship. You don't start off the Premier League well if you don't command commitment from your players. And that's the one thing I don't think we can accuse Brentford players of, is lacking commitment. So, yeah, man. Balogun looking like he could be the next Eddie to me. I don't watch under 23s, but he's not really impressed me in the first team. Might use his hype for him to make a quick change. And this is where I'm on anything, Balogun I want him to progress to the first team. Who doesn't want? I told you, look, I want the impossible dream of 11 / a 25-man squad of academy-based players. It's probably not going to happen, but that's what we want. But equally, not every young player is going to come on the journey. Certain young players are going to be able to hang around for a couple of seasons, then need to be moved on. A couple men are going to go on and be England internationals, competent options. Certain people are just going to have to be sold on. And I've said it before, if you've got Tyrese, John Jules, Balogun, and Eddie Nketiah, you should be making 60 million on all three. You should be developing them so they're all worth 20 million a pop. Other clubs would be doing that. Do I feel Arsenal's had the best development in relation to Tyrese, John Jules, and the choice of his loan clubs? No. Do I think we've been proactive with Balogun's development? No. Do I know what's going on with Eddie Nketiah? No. So yeah, man. Players, sometimes you just have to players need to be sold for profit. I'm happy to see Maitland-Niles in and around the first team, but there was a chance where you could have grabbed a little change off him from Wolves and all them teams that were bidding for him before he left. Yeah, not every young player can make it here. And I like Balogun, I think he's got a lot more to his game than people giving credit, but there's a lot he needs to work on, man. I like the runs he makes. Sometimes I think he goes a bit anonymous. Sometimes I think he's hot and cold, man. Jonathan David, no, because he can get pocketed and lost in the game. If there is nothing on, he tends to be out the game. Alphonso Davis is much better one to try and get. Talking about the Bayern Munich lad? Fair play. Coventry are a great place for young players. Chelsea have sent a few players there in recent years, and loans go well because the manager is good with young players. Exactly. And even if again, Crowley's left Huddersfield and manages Portsmouth, and we've sent Miguel Aziz. But if you can find managers that are notoriously known for developing young players, only an idiot would not want to send them there. Hit the like button if you haven't. So this is, it's not every loan can work, but you need to have Chelsea, for example, as you said, they have more hits than misses. We have more misses than hits, really. How many loan spells have really, really worked? Mavropanos is doing all right at Stuttgart. I think Matt Smith has had a couple of decent ones. Not Matt Smith, because it's actually gone halfway at times. I'd say Ballard has been good. Saliba looks like the Marseille one in conjunction with the Nice one worked out. There's not too many loans you look at and you go, yeah, like them man there. That was, Smith Rowe at Huddersfield. There's not too many that you're like, yeah, they've worked. And this is where we need to revamp our practices and what we're doing potentially. Hoffenheim, I don't think it was a bad loan spell for Reece Nelson, but it weren't amazing. Leeds did not work out for Balogun. I mean, Eddie Nketiah. You know, I don't think when we've sent Tyrese John Jones to Lincoln and these clubs there, it's worked out. You know, it's not been bad, but it's like, are these the best play? Are these the best places for your DNA? You know, again, when we had Dan Crowley as well, he's a cam. You're sending him to a place under a manager where he's going to play 4-4-2 in off the left-hand side. And we're confused as to why it's not and a technical-based player for a dynamic side. And we're confused as to why it didn't work. Do you get it? Now, I can't tell these lot anything because they know more about football than me, but common sense might not be that common at times, if I'm honest with you. Interesting to see what happens when Saliba comes back. Bro, see, now everybody wants Tushimani. I don't know. Well, when you find out what's going on with Martinelli, let me know, please, because I would like to know as well. People need to chill out as well. You know, Balogun did get his chance. I do agree with Arteta. Balogun has to show in training that he deserves it among other people. Now, if he's training hard and all of that, fair play. But, you know, he does need to show he deserves it ahead of other people. And it's difficult to expect an inexperienced man to take his chances against Brentford. But who knows? If you bagged against Brentford, that's how careers are made. You might have got a next start in the next game and you might have bagged again. This is how you elevate yourself into the squad. You know, and this is why you're playing second fiddle. Obviously, things can change in January. Injuries might happen. You know, with relation to Lacazette and Aubameyang not going to be here long. Things can change. But are we going to let this man and Eddie Nketiah? But are you going to sit on your hands for 18 months? Anything from 6 to 18 months in the hope of that, just chilling off in the academy? It's a crime that you're playing in the academy. And you, your agent, the club, you lot need to review what's going on. I can't tell you lot anything. I don't know what's going on, but I think Balogun needs to be playing men's football outside of his comfort zone, much like a lot of these guys. Maybe if we had our own little Vitesse thing, like you've seen where Mount went on loan to Holland, and actually not the same club, but Cantwell of Norwich went on loan to Holland. Maybe that's an avenue where we could send man to technical-based leagues in a technical-based team where we don't get these sort of players, because Arsenal do develop a certain sort of player, very much an Arsenal DNA. I look at Miguel Aziz, you know, very good cultured player, but if you send him to the wrong club, he is not going to stand out. If you send him to a team that plays the technical level and them things, you're going to see a man that needs to develop. Keep the opinions coming and hit that like button, people. I'd prefer Ten Hag over the Brentford manager, same, 100%. But I think Nasri could have done great things in football. Like, he's been a good player, very good player. I think he could have been a great player, man. If I'm honest with you. This is it, man. At least he's still kicking ball, but yeah, man. Yeah, when it comes to Martinelli, people just need to chill out as well, man. Interested to see what happens when Saliba comes back. Hopefully, he comes back a more experienced 21-year-old, bro, ready to try and dismantle what I hope is a blossoming partnership of Ben White and Gabriel. Hopefully, we can flirt between playing them in a back three, you know, Saliba and Gabriel, Saliba and Ben White, the same partnership we're seeing. Hopefully, just complicate things. And hopefully, we have 3 centre halves with resale value, more so Saliba and Gabriel, because they were signed, for around the 20 million region. We spent 50 for Ben White. I don't know if we're going to make bread back on that. But what I hope is that they develop, because that's over 100 million spent on them defenders. We need them to develop and play well, man. Man, need to remember these guys are tied down to long-term deals. Proper development is part of this project that we're being force-fed, so we just have to wait and see. Also true. Shout out to DS as well. Now everyone is after Tucci money again. Exactly. You need to move for these man when people are umming and ahhing, like, is he really that good? This and that and the other. You got to move for them then, or you're in trouble, or you're in absolute trouble and problems, people. So yeah, it is what it is. I think Arteta doesn't like Saliba because he doesn't want to be in the same dressing room as him. I'm not sure. I just don't think he rates him as highly, you know. And I can't lie, I like Ben White, but sometimes I look at Ben White play and I'm like, it's not that you're bad, but it's like you're not as developed as I thought you would. So it's like, how bad does Arteta not rate Saliba or think he's behind to justify 50 million on this? And that's not to criticize him. It's just there's a lot of naivety I see in Ben White's game, and clocked from the game he played in pre-season at Chelsea, against Chelsea. I mean, Saliba and Arteta, no vibe won't happen. We'll just have to see, man. I personally think the club might just make a profit on him, and it is what it is. But let's just see what happens, man. He's been assured allegedly that he is to come back and get opportunities. 152 likes, people. Let's begin our assault to 200, man. A man Nuan said, Deluded, it's time for me to unsubscribe because you just come with bullshit. Oh, what am I gonna do? Newman Ahmed has unsubscribed. Oh my god, everyone, man, the pumps were down. It's administration, stocks are falling. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Oh, don't keep it composed, DG. Keep it composed, keep it composed. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Fuck off out of here, nigga. What the hell you think this is, bro? Like, people subscribe and unsubscribe every day, bro. What the fuck? The hell? Like, someone I don't know is not watching me anymore. Oh my god. Fuck out of here, bro. Hell out of here, man. The fuck? I'm from the real world, you know. What do you want me to do, bro? Do you think I'm some company that goes, oh, don't go. I'll give you a free voucher. Bro, get out of here, man. Don't let the door lick you on your backside as you get out of there, man. Pause. Go mad. Anyways, one love to the people that are locked in. If anyone wants to subscribe. Anyone who wants to hit the dislike, bro. If you don't want to watch the thing, fuck off out of here. Like, if you want to watch the thing, do your thing. Like, it's simple as that, you know. It's like a TV channel. If you think man's rambling, waffling, or you don't like it, cancel your subscription, unfollow, and do what you need to do. The world's gonna keep spinning. What, you want me to get on my knees like one whore and beg you to stay? Hell out of here, pussy. Anyways, sorry for that, bro. Yeah, trust me, free trial expiring and that, bro. He's lucky there ain't no free trial. They shagged him. I would have done them fuckery ones. You know, when they make you put your credit card in and them things there, he would have got shagged. You would have got shagged, man. Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here, bro. Comments like that jar me, bro. They're worse than the racist comments, man. Like when I see all them, oh, DJ, I used to like you, know, but you speak about racism a lot. Like, okay, cool. Last time I checked, I suffer from that. You always tell me it's nothing's about color and everything in life is made to feel like such. Get out of here, man. I only care if your baby mama or your girlfriend bosses out. Then I'll listen. I don't want you to leave. Come on, I'm out here in pink, pretty in pink, fresh-ish kind of haircut, babyface killer. But the man, them, get the fuck out of here, man. The hell? The backside, man. Anyways, I don't think Arteta has a problem with with Saliba's talent. Sorry, I think it's because he can handle him as a human. Unlike Guendouzi, no man management, just yes man. That's true. Does Saliba even want to be at Arsenal, given he'll likely just end up like Martinelli, where we know he's good, but Arteta refuses to play him? We're just going to have to see, man. That's why I think Lokonga was a good move. Gives me Telemans at Monaco vibes. Again, Telemans, bro, we've known Telemans since 16. I'm sure you lot remember him playing for Anderlecht, him and Dennis Pratt at the Emirates. We could have grabbed him. When Telemans went to Monaco, to me, it looked like his stock kind of fell a bit. Leicester were like, yo, you don't become a bad player overnight, you know? Let's go grab him. Now it seems like he's getting cold feet about signing a new deal at Leicester, but they're probably going to make a handsome profit. And I hope Monaco have secured themselves and they've got a nice little sell-on clause and able to look after themselves in that regards and whatnot. Oh, trust me. Well, we're not at 40. Are we at 42? Are we at 42? 41. Almost at 42, you know. I think like 10, 20 people. Do you know what? YouTube always gets rid of them non-active accounts. But it's not even going in. It's like, what? I take a lot of nonsense. So every now and again, I have to hit back. Like, what the man want me to do, bro? Like, what do you want me to do with that info, bro? Man ain't gonna come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Saliba will never play for Arsenal. Rah, some of you are not happy, man. Bear man forgot that they can click out of a video. Trust, man. Give him a refund. No. We're not. If I would have shot, we're not running that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. One love. Yes, DG finally caught a live that's live. As he said, you've had enough of the premieres. As for Saliba, everyone needs to calm down. He's still young and needs to learn a lot at a higher level. Some just need the games to learn, and we can't have learners. We can always have learners, especially if we're going to have an average age of 23. But I agree with you. People are getting excited. The man's going to be 21. Where I feel Arsenal give fuel to the fire is like with Martinelli. You in the club might know what going on. We don't know what's going on. And obviously we're not, but if you just give us a bit of clarity, like for me anyways, when it's come out that Saliba was the one that kind of pushed for Marseille, Arsenal was saying, yo, listen, Premier League loan. Before I was screaming, yo, why is he not going in the Premier League? What's going on? Then I was like, okay, it's a Saliba thing then. Sometimes clarity is all people know, man, all need. I can't lie, I couldn't be on camera as much as you and be as composed all the time. Don't Don't watch the hate, man. To be fair with you, you learn it, man. Like, what, man can't fight no one. You know, I can't fight everyone. Can't argue with everyone. Certain people just, I pity people because certain people's lives are probably just a mess, and this is their way of releasing things. You know, misery loves company. As you see, the internet, it's a great thing, and shout out to the DG Nation. There's a lot of empathy and sympathy, but by that same logic, I just find in general there's extreme hate. Like, someone could post and be happy, like, oh, I passed my driving test. Or whatever, but you never passed it 2 months ago. Or someone can get a first car. People are there like, oh, look at his shitty car. Or people do disrespectful things. Like, someone could post a picture with their mum, happy birthday, mum. People want to run jokes. So the internet's a bad place, broski. You know, the internet's a terrible place. So it is what it is, man. This is the internet, innit? You just have to brush them off. You know, when I've got people like yourself and the supporters that you like yourself that support the thing, I can't pay much attention to it. And also, you know, I'm yet to get any sort of hate in my face, like in the physical, you know, really. It's just a net thing. All I get is love. Like, so it is what it is, man. And to be honest, it's probably the man then that are asking for pictures that are doing half of that. So it's an airing thing. 6-month loan in La Liga could do wonders for Gabby. I hear it. Hey, DG, big up. I know not Arsenal related, but did you see the video of the volcano on the pitch on La Palma? The lava going onto the pitch is mad over there at the moment. I haven't seen any of that, but what I can do, obviously, is research that I didn't know, and obviously, I hope everybody's all right, man. Joe, you're trying to understand people. You can't understand people that ain't got no logic. That's what I had to. It's like, even with these dislikes and people that just say nasty things, I'm like, but man, do your thing, innit? Like, is where it is, man. Just leave them. I can't lie. I'd be more shocked if Saliba does play for Arsenal than if he didn't. Fact. Back in the Wenger days, one thing we had was the best scouting. We spotted these guys before everyone else. Unpopular opinion, I don't think we have a problem scouting. I say that. We brought in some Kalam man. I just think there's a problem with identifying talents and moving forward. And I think today's day and age, you have to be more proactive than ever. Once you see a man, you have to grab it, because if Arsenal go and look at, I don't know, someone on the edge of earth, I don't know, someone in Siberia, Chelsea, all them men are coming for the sake of it, and we're doing the same thing. You know, we might not have any intention of going there, but we're just gonna go look because they're looking. All Premier League clubs, so it's about acting, moving fast. You know, we could have. I don't even want to go down that route, but we all know the players we've been could have had in it. Trust me, there you have it. Cannot make rational sense of irrational, so we might as well just fuck them and just say fuck them and carry on, man. Do you rate Noah Lang? I can't lie, I do. You know, I like him more and more the more I watch him play. I know we're linked with him. I think it's a paper rumor, but hopefully we can do a thing, man. Do dislikes boost engagement though, because I would have thought it tells YouTube, no, I don't want to watch this. But either way, it is what it is. This is it. Come on, man. And this is it. This is it. I appreciate that, Joe. If I saw you in the street, I'd give you a firm handshake and say thank you for your videos. I'd give you a firm handshake and say thank you for supporting them. Like with everyone, you know. This is why I can't air it, man. You know how many messages I get sometimes, like, oh, and I don't know why. It makes me feel weird, but people say, oh, your videos gave me something to look forward to and things like that. When people are saying that, I don't give a fuck about no haters. Like, the fuck? Pardon my language. I don't give a crap. They don't pay my bills. Like, the hell? The only thing is, like, why? Like, why are you so evil? But it is what it is. Trust. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We keep progressing. We keep progressing. Get your opinions in, people. Couple more questions and opinions and whatnot. Is there anything Arsenal related still going on? I was quite disappointed that I haven't been able to see Mikel Arteta's thing. Want to see Mikel Arteta's press conference? I think we're going to have to wrap that in another vid, which is jarring. Let me type in Arsenal, see what's up. Why can't there be some? Why can't we get linked with some exciting things, man? Everything is dead. Like, everything is dead. I mean, if we look at this quickly, people, 187. That's a good name, a good number of people locked in. People, if you know, you know. Rah. Newcastle are trying to get Alex Ferguson. Dream chasing. Think he enjoys his retirement, but yeah, man. Anyways, people, Mikel Arteta insists Arsenal are in a good place, but he may have overlooked problems. You think? You reckon? I think fans did as well. I think the whole club did, because I never saw no centre mids arriving. At the minimum, I never saw no centre mids, excluding Lokonga, arrive. I didn't see midfield addressed, so it's an issue. We've not lost since August, but we struggled at the start of the season. We still have an opportunity to qualify for Europe. This is obviously off the backdrop of injuries, assuming we can still remain consistent and assuming things go our way, people. Mikel Arteta believes Arsenal are in a good place after picking up 10 points from their last 4 Premier League games. The Spaniard squad lacks depth, however, and injuries throughout the campaign could send the Gunners back to a bad place. He said the squad is in a really good place. Obviously, after the window closed and we knew the squad that we had done a lot of transfers and deals we wanted to do in the summer. I think we have to be really happy and positive about what we have. We know we spent 140 million. We know we lost our first 3 games. We know other people have come into the team and doing things. I think this article is talking a lot of nonsense because it's not actually saying anything in relation to what Mikel Arteta has said. So yeah, that's a bit of a cringe fest spot. With respect to Rio Ferdinand and Ian Wright, I don't necessarily care, respectively, in relation to this, what they have to say, man. We never get the truth out of Arsenal. I wouldn't even say that. I'd say we get half truths. Like we just get enough to make you feel like you know something and not enough. It always feels like there's some big secret going on internally at the club. In my opinion, I think Arteta's ego as to why we won't see Saliba. He can't let Emre sign and be successful or failing. So he has to keep Saliba on loan. I hear you, Andrew, but surely that could be dispelled when you've got Gabriel. Surely, like I'm just asking. Noah Lang is a bad youth, but still why more wingers? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think we need, if we're getting attacking players, it's not really attacking, but I want someone who plays next to Partey, 2 of them, or something like that. I want a striker, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. If we can get, you can't get Alexis Sanchez, but if you can get a left winger that can score goals, I'm on it, because I think that's unpopular opinion. That's an avenue. I think that left wing's a bit of a, how do you make it make sense? It's a bit of an unaddressed area because on the face of it, yeah, Smith Rowe's made it his home. Odegaard's done out there. Aubameyang's gone out there. Martinelli probably relished that. Saka and Pepe have played out there, probably missing somebody else out. But for me, I think if you could get someone who could score goals there, I think I'll be cool with that. That's just me, man. Arguably, I'd be more open to a left winger more than a striker, and I'm saying that. And a part of me is saying, "DG, stop capping. You don't believe that." But a part of me starting to honestly feel that, like maybe you grab me a goal scoring guy. Like again, you can't grab a Salah, but if we had our own Salah, then I think maybe that could compensate for Aubameyang's poor form or Lacazette's lack of goals or whatever. For me, you grab that guy. You work on Martinelli becoming that striker long term, or you make Martinelli that left winger and you bring in a striker. I do think, as I said, left wing and striker are 2 avenues that need to be addressed. Even if we brought them in January, how successful they would be, I don't know. We don't create money chances. We don't score enough. There's many question marks over Mikel Arteta and Arsenal in the attacking third. So it is what it is in that regards. I mean, we'd all love a variety style player. That's what I want. If someone that just wants the ball, that can control it, and we don't have that. Again, Lokonga wants it, Partey's got it. That's not them. That's not their CV. Really and truly. A quality left winger will improve Kieran Tierney as well. There's obviously that one as well. Pepe did do bits on the left. I would like a striker, but Arsenal seem to buy these strikers that always come with, they need more accessories. Like, as much as I love Aubameyang, you either have to double down on how Aubameyang plays or get around it because he's very service reliant. Lacazette, we overcompensate because of his lack of goals and probably lack of that higher quality. That's why we waffle about how he's great for the young players. He presses well, he drops deep, he creates, he takes less shots and scores goals and all of these things because he's not been that Lacazette. So for me, striker and left wing is needed. But if you could get me a left winger that grabs goals, I'd be cool with that, really. Of course, I'm gonna watch I haven't watched the trailer for the Wenger movie, but of course I'm gonna watch it. I'd like to see DG play left wing, Tierney behind him. That duo would walk the league. I don't know if I'll be too productive. I don't know if I've got the legs, but yeah, probably be like 2 left backs there. But I appreciate that, my guy, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I think it's a myth that Arteta dislikes players just because they were signed by Emre. So do I. I just think that the majority of Emre players don't have the right mentality. I hear you, but I just say it's Arsenal players because better of them have played under Emre and Wenger and all these guys, and Arteta's betted on them. I just think I don't think he necessarily rates Saliba, but I don't think it's not that he doesn't want to use him. I don't think he wants. I'm actually quite scared for Saliba and Martinelli, but I do think a lot's been made, and it's always gonna be made. Everyone was on to Pepe, and then now look, really and truly, man said flying right back. I wouldn't mind number 6, but that's hella running. Sam Belotti, you could grab him on a free transfer. I can't lie. I don't particularly rate Belotti if I'm completely 100% 100 with you guys. But yeah, it is what it is in that regards, man. So yeah, man. You're right, though. DG on the left, Saka on the right. Here I am stuck in the middle. You lot gas me, man. You lot gas me. 188 likes, people. We're close to 200. We're so close to 200. Let's keep moving up in this world, people. In that regards. It's a pity there's not much to talk about. But this is why I love sitting here with you lot. But we've had F all to talk about. Somehow we've made it last, people. And we've been here for an hour and 19 minutes. And shout out to Mikel Arteta and obviously the women's manager as well of Arsenal's ladies, because both men have won manager of the month. And again, I'm scared of this manager of the month thing, because if you lot or if you lot remember, you know, Nuno Espirito Santo won it, and then look how it worked out for him in the end. So yeah, man, it's just something to be wary of. I think so far this season we've seen the good, bad, and the ugly of Arsenal. You know, I wouldn't say we've seen the good. I think we've seen the bad and the ugly. We've seen all right. I wouldn't say good, but yeah, you get the point, man. Lacazette set to leave on a free. Replacement options are pretty limited, and we haven't got loads of cash to splash. Striker is a need surely with the form of Aubameyang. And I mean, I didn't see this comment, but I kind of alluded to that. You're right. It's an elephant in the room. But one thing that scares me is the striker is half the job. You know, how are you gonna get the best out of it? Arteta hasn't shown me any attacking player is really gonna thrive, really, because we're not on attacking side. And personally, I think it's a crime that anytime you speak of Arsenal, and you can't, regardless of trophies, if we're not on attacking side, if we do not play good football, then what are we talking about? Really and truly. Yeah, man. The next 5 games will show us what they're made of, and that's it, bro. That's it. And I mean, I already know. Listen, I don't already know what I think of Arsenal in it. Like, I don't think there's not, unless a miracle happens, I don't think Arsenal can change my mind. Like, because my mindset is in the same way I was at the start of the season during preseason. Obviously, bit more pitchforks out with the start of the year, bit happier now, but I haven't learned much. I still think there's a naive squad. There is some good, there's some bad, there's a few positives, there's a few negatives. I haven't learned much. I really haven't, and I just feel we're gonna be in the same spot because I haven't seen enough. But like you said, the next 5 games will show what this team's really made of, really. And it's about the way we're playing as well for me. I think Martinelli needs to be a bit more humble, to be honest. He's only really performed as an impact sub or Europa League. Not often has he started in the league. I think that's a bit harsh because he has. And to be honest with you, how do we know he's not positive? I mean, humble. I think he has been humble. Why wouldn't he want to play? I mean, the club's doubled down on him. He was kind of doing the Smith Rowe and Saka thing before them. He's been given a new deal. You want to play games. I don't think it's him not being humble, but I agree, man. I agree, DG. No matter who you get up front, our cautious style will turn Ronaldo into Shamak. Would you take Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Watkins as a replacement for Laka? You know what? Watkins is an Arsenal fan, so I might have to give it to him, but I just think I'd have more use for Dominic Calvert-Lewin personally, and it gives us something a bit different, man. The fact Arsenal news is dead means that something is brewing in the background. We only find out last minute or in bits and pieces, and it's annoying. DG, Sanchez, Ox, Santi, who would you take in Jan? Big fat nobody. I mean, for the I'd pay good money to see Santi. So to humor you, I'd say Santi Cazorla. If we're not going to bring in a midfielder, I'd explore the opportunity of bringing Ox on loan. Sanchez, no, really and truly none of them in it. Like, they're not going to be here long term. DG, what about the players who are struggling at top teams and the team isn't doing good, like Dybala? Arsenal probably would have had no right to bid for him, but why not? You know what? You might as well try, but I don't think we have a snowball's chance of Dybala. I'm sure he's signing a new deal. You need to grab them sort of man when they're at Palermo. We need Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Tammy could be available. Are you sure Roma want to get rid of him this quickly? And obviously, they're going to want to make a profit, if anything. And obviously, you've got the complication of Chelsea getting involved. Would they want to take their buyback clause? Ivan Toney or bust? Pardon me, I like Tony. Needs to show me a couple more goals in the Premier. I don't want to sign no more man just on work rate and hold up play and everything else. I need goals now, man. If I'm completely honest with you. Make sure we're also subscribing on Twitch, folks. We'll know more about Arteta. We'll know more after Arteta speaks this afternoon. Only said humble about Gabby was due. Arteta said something the other day about his attitude. I know what you mean. He said something about he needs to take. It sounded like he needs to accept disappointment a bit better. And obviously, man's 20 in it. Like it's gonna happen. Oh fuck Alexis Sanchez, man. Don't care what he's doing. Don't care where he is. The hottest loves have the coldest end in it, and that was a very, very, very cold end where we're concerned with that. So fuck Alexis Sanchez, really and truly. That's couldn't care less where you are, man. Mupay to Arsenal so he can't hurt our keepers anymore. Hey, that's a shout. To be fair to you, you know, he'd have to be humble, really. So that's a shout. I'll be fair. That's a shout. 194 likes. Can we get to 200? And for all those dislikers, hey, you see we're winning. Hey, Jack Wilshere style. I'll take the fine, the YouTube fine. Hey, shove that. Well, no, not up your thing. Shove that up your girls, or your mums, or your sisters, or your aunties. Oh yeah, grandmas. Let me stop before. Let me stop. Let's keep on football. Let's remain professional, people. But on that note, though, I've got to love and leave you lot, people, because in a couple of minutes I'm going to be live on Rancy's stream. So let me go over there and prepare for that very quickly, people. It's been a pleasure, you know. And again, hopefully, you know, as the international break is done, we can start getting on board with proper content now. Obviously, the Premier League's back, so you'll get a lot of watch-alongs this weekend. I'm going to do, I think, Brentford, Chelsea. I'm going to do it on YouTube. Watford, Liverpool will be on what's it called again? We'll be on Twitch. We obviously have to preview Arsenal. Tomorrow actually is PSG, so I'll be doing a watch along on Twitch as well. So yeah, man, make sure you're all here. Hella content to come, man. Hella content, man. Appreciate that. Come on, you lot, take care. Arteta did have the third best defense in the league, but yeah, man, he's tired. All right, man. Apologies, man, but we gotta get that income, man. Appreciate you for trying, though. One love to the Twitch gang who are still there, or people that are just supporting the thing. If you don't want to head over to Twitch, I'm pretty sure I got a bag of other content. So yeah, go and take that in. But on that note, I'm out.
There's always that active red flag defenders. I think it's like.
Oh shit, I'm bugging out. I didn't even lock it off. I say, people, I'm locking it off for real now. I'm locking it off for real. I didn't even press the off button, but let's spin it again.
There's always that active red flag defenders. I think it's like.